And that's the issue that most businesses get to the point is like, if they spend $1, they automatically want 2 back. What's the return on my investment?
Right.
Like they need some sort of guarantee or somebody to look in a crystal ball. And it's like, dude, the return is if you don't quit and give up and you have the data and you use the data to your advantage, that you're going to skyrocket your business.
All right, guys, welcome to another episode of the Report Saturday edition. And I got my co-host today. I got my man, Trevor Cowley. Trevor, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Happy Saturday edition.
Yes, my man. His Saturday edition, Virginity, is being popped right now. I'm super excited for today's episode. We are going to talk.
I hope it feels good here.
Oh, yeah. It's going to feel good, man.
Yeah.
Get ready.
I
Get
hope
ready.
I'm going to like it. Let's go.
We're going to talk everything about the top ways and the best ways to create awareness for your business, for your brand, to get more leads, to get more customers, to make more money. At the top of the funnel is everything, right? There's a lot of right ways to do it. There's a lot of ways maybe not to do it. We're going to talk about all the best practices out there. So if you're listening to this right now and you're a business owner, or maybe you're looking to start your business, or maybe you're a real estate investor looking to market for whatever it might be, this episode is going to be for you. So first things first, Trevor.
Yeah.
What is the biggest mistake that you see out there for people trying to market or create awareness for their business?
That they don't invest into it, whether you're talking about time or money, right? Automatically, when I say you don't invest to it, where do people's minds go? Money. Well, I'm struggling. I'm a startup business. I'm only year 2, or, the thing that you lack is the thing that you need. But if the thing that you have is time, then utilize that to produce the money. And then when you get some of the money, utilize the time and the money to expedite it. And then when you get a ton of money, start fading back your time and throw more money at it, right? So there's an evolution process to get awareness for any business venture that you're a part of. It doesn't matter whether it's real estate. It doesn't matter whether it's an accounting firm. And there's a million different ways to go about it. We talked about prior to, hopping on, there's word of mouth, which is usually kind of the starting point, right? Like I want to start a plumbing business or this, but who do I know? Family, friends, neighbors, they call me for side jobs or whatever it is. That's only going to last so long, and it's only going to take you so far until you hit a ceiling. And then you're going to have to try something else, right?
And before even all that, I mean, word of mouth's great, but I think that the number one thing that a lot of people can be doing is like first impressions, everything. So if you get a new business, set up a good looking website. It doesn't need to be anything fancy. One nice, clean, simple landing page, clearly concise of what you do that looks clean and crisp will go a long way. Having a professional email set up, having a social media account. It's free to post on Instagram organically. And even if you only have 100 followers or 50 followers, do it, because the first thing people are going to do before they do business with you is they're going to look you up online. They're going to Google you.
Yeah.
And if you don't have a website, you don't have any Google reviews, that's going to be a red flag. And if you don't have an Instagram and a social media, sorry, but 4.8 billion people use social media today. And so if you are not posting about what you're up to, what you do, that's going to be a red flag. And people do business with those they know, like, and trust. And the best way to create trust is to share a little bit about what you do. So I think that's first and foremost.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. That's the foundation. If somebody's just doing side jobs on if you're going to turn it into a real business, go set up an LLC. Step 1, go get a bank account. Step 2, fund it with $500 or $1,000 or $5,000 or whatever it is that you need to fund it with. But the thing will act as the way you treat it, or act in a manner in which you treat it. And if you don't treat your business like a business, it's not going to act like a business. In other words, it's not going to spit out the money that you want. So go through the proper steps. So that is step 1, set up the entity, set up the bank account, then start using some of the money that's in the bank account from your savings that you transferred over to set up the website, to get your social media page, just some of the basic stuff. We could all do this stuff for, $500 or a couple $1,000 if you want a decent website. But and every industry is a little bit different. I think websites are starting to fade quite a bit. I think that's the old form of digital real estate. In reality, it's more social media, but some people will poke around still, right?
Absolutely. And it's good to have a good landing page.
I was going to say a landing page is probably far more important than a website anymore, which is basically a form of a website that's just there to get information to capture the data that you need to reach out to the potential client or lead, right? Some people don't even know what a landing page is.
100%. So, now we start talking about, marketing. Let's talk social media marketing.
Yeah.
Organic content, I think, very important. But let's talk paid ads.
Paid ads.
So what's the best way to like set up some paid ads? Because anyone can go out there and set up some paid ads. But what's the best strategy to approach paid ads if you're brand new?
It's the big scary monster, right? People are like, oh, paid ads, the marketer, I've had a bad experience or heard about a bad experience. Dude, I've had people reach out to me in the DMs being like, hey man, I'm just a little landscape company, blah, 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 whatever. I'm like, cool. If you have a landscaping Instagram page and it's under a business account, there's a little blue button that says boost post.
We got Danielle in the building. Shout out to
What's up?
Danielle. What's up,
Yeah,
Danielle?
well, shout out to you.
Yes.
But there's that little blue button on your business page that says boost post. If your local community is, 10,000 people or 50,000 people, you can literally hit boost post for your services and spend $20 or $30 in just your area. There was one kid that builds sheds that was in my mastermind, right? And I'm like, okay, who gets sheds? 18-year-olds? Probably not, right? Is somebody building a shed that's 80? Probably not. They're too old to move stuff in and out of a shed. So, I mean, you got to use a little common sense. What's the age demographic of your ideal client, right? Like if you're doing the service, is it 25 to 45? Then cool. Put in 25 to 45 if you're building backyard sheds. Then hit boost post. He lived in a little town called Cedar City, Utah that has like 60,000 people. He can boost a post for $30 or $40, and the majority of that town is going to see his post. Right. And so like when you're talking about paid ads, we can talk about a whole slew of different things. There's high level stuff. When you're trying to do tens of millions, you should hire professionals. But if you're a landscaper, you probably don't have the budget to spend $5,000 a month to hire somebody that knows what they're doing in order to kick up a little bit more business. But what can you do? That's the real question. And are you doing the things that you can do versus focusing on the things that you're not able to do, right?
Oh, that's so good.
So just spend that $20, that $30. I told this guy on Instagram to do it. And he's like, bro, I've picked up so many lawn maintenance jobs from this because people in his local area are seeing this landscaper guy. He's getting local followers, which is his avatar. If you want anybody to follow you, it's people that you could potentially do business with, right? And then there's people are sending him a DM. Hey, can you come mow my lawn? Dude, his business actually blew up just in his little local community by boosting his posts, getting it into his age demographic, spending $20 here, $30 there, set a budget on there for 30 days for $100, $200, and just let it run through that and just get awareness, right?
Yeah, and by the way, I mean, even a lot of that stuff you can do organically. And by the way, it's free to post. But now let's take it a step further. Let's say someone wants to go test a bunch of paid ads, right? What's the best way to go out there and test paid ads, come up with the hooks, all that sort of stuff?
Well, I mean, in this day and age, you got ChatGPT. So I would,
AI.
I would leverage tools, softwares, things, knowledge, resources, people that you have available to you. So there's ChatGPT. This is my ideal candidate. This is the problem that they're trying to solve when working with us, whether it's a plumber, it doesn't matter the industry, and then have it. You're going to act as a media buyer, and you're going to create a hook, and then you're going to create a call to action at the end, right? And it'll give me 10 of these. You don't got to do all 10. Just pick the top 3. And sometimes my brain just needs a rough draft, like to get the juices flowing. You start reading stuff. You're like, oh, I like that, but I don't really like this. Let's take this and let's do this. You know, that's a really easy way to do it. But if you're going to get into paid ads, you need to understand it's almost like life. The first half of your life, you're really just extracting data and becoming more self-aware of things that serve you and don't serve you. Same thing with marketing. All you're doing is there's a phase, a month, maybe 2 months, where you're just extracting data, right? Who clicks on that? Like, how far do they go? There's softwares where you get to watch where they go on your landing page, where they stop, and then you redo your landing page to make it a little bit more accessible. Move your button over here, whatever it may be. So it's all testing. Most people aren't willing to spend $5-10 grand testing because it's like, well, we're not going to really get results. But you have now the data that's going to give you the results. And what's that data worth to you? It should be invaluable because now every dollar you spend goes way further. And that's the issue that most businesses get to the point is like, if they spend $1, they automatically want 2 back. what's the return on my investment?
Right.
Like they need some sort of guarantee or somebody to look in a crystal ball. And it's like, dude, the return is if you don't quit and give up and you have the data and you use the data to your advantage, that you're going to skyrocket your business.
That's so good. And by the way, shout out, we got a couple mastermind members in the house. We got Danielle and Lorenzo in the studio right now.
Hanging
got
right outside the cameras, yes.
Yeah, hanging. And we got a big meetup tonight. Very excited for our meetup tonight. If any of you guys listening to the show are ever in San Diego, would love to have you out to our Beers and Deals meetup. Yeah, rooftop. Downtown San Diego. Been doing it for 6 years now.
Hey guys, happy 2025. I am so excited for the new year. If you are a busy professional and looking for passive income and tax benefits, my company, Summers Capital, has a real estate fund where we are buying boutique hotels. We do everything from sourcing the deals, renovating all the properties, and even handling all the day-to-day operations, making it truly hands-off for our investors. If you want to learn more to see if we can help you this year, go to summerscapital.com/invest to book a free call with my team. Again, it's summerscapital.com/invest to book a free call with my team. Now we'll shut back into the show.
Anyhow, I think when you're coming up with the hooks for the paid ads, I think the best way to come up with those hooks is like figure out the pain points of all your customers. So if you have a landscaping business, like what's their pain point, or whatever it might be. Maybe it's the fitness industry, or maybe you have a weight loss program. Well, it's like, okay, we'll think about those pain points and then test those as the hooks. And like you said, maybe you split test 10 of them, see which ones perform, which ones don't perform, and then double down on the ones that do perform, enhance those. And then, like you said, should you test multiple landing pages or only have one?
You should test multiple landing pages.
How many should you test?
At least 2.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think you need to really test 3. So what the best of the best of the best do is they actually spend money just testing the hook. They don't even care what the landing page says. Some people will just see how many clicks they get just based upon the hook. Then there's the body, and then there's the call to action. Right. And what they'll do is they'll film, 5 different hooks, 5 bodies, and 5 call to actions. They're going to figure out which one has the highest click-through ratio, which one's the best hook, which one's the best body, and which one's the best call to action. And they'll move them around and put the 3 best together. And that's going to be your highest performing one. Right. It's going to be the same thing on a landing page.
So let's say someone listen to this podcast right now. They have a online fitness program, right? And they teach people how to, get in shape, lose weight, etc. And it's all online. And they want to set up some paid ads. Let's talk about the flow. Like, what should the flow look like from the top of the funnel, right? So they're going to test some paid ads.
They're going to test some paid
they'll have
ads.
A call to action to a landing page.
They're going to, yes.
And what should be on that landing page, and like what should the rest of the funnel look like?
Usually there's a timeline. There's some sort of date and some sort of discount or some sort of deal, right? Like that's just psychology of humans. So if somebody was doing something like that, what's the problem in that industry? The problem is people get motivated for 30 days. They go to the gym and then they fall off.
Yeah. It's the same reason why you go to the gym on January 5th. And like you've never seen so many people in your life at the gym. And then 30 days later, it's February 5th. And you're like, dude, where did everyone go?
Everyone fell off.
Yes.
Okay. So that means that I need to have a program that speaks to those people that can't get results because they can't hold themselves accountable. Have a tough time with consistency and discipline. You see what I'm saying? So that's going to be the hook, right? Like I have an ad right now that's running and it's me. And I put a bunch of different hats on, so to speak, right? So I'm solving the problem for solo entrepreneurs or very small organizations where a business owner has to wear many hats. And so what I did is, hey, can I get customer support? And then it pans over to me and I'm customer support. And it says, hey, I need a maintenance out here on this property. And then it pans over to me underneath my sink in the bathroom with a wrench with my crack hanging out, answering a call. It's like maintenance. And they're like, hey, we had another issue on this property. Can you go back over here? I said, yeah. Will you close the invoice on Maple Street? Then it went over to me invoicing. Yeah, I'll close that. Ad? That's the paid ad.
That's good.
Why? Because what I'm doing is I'm highlighting the problem. Everybody's like, dude, I wear like 4 or 5 different hats in my business and I'm sick of being, and then the last one is a sales guy. He's kind of drinking a Red Bull, like, hey, sales, and it's like, and basically the end says, that's not sustainable. You can't continue to wear all those hats. You need to learn the skill of delegating. You need to learn the skill of creating SOPs. Click the link below and see if we're the right fit for you. right? So what I did is I met them right where they're at and I actually made this one funny, right?
Yeah.
And
It's entertaining.
I wanted it to feel like more like content because it says life of the 6-figure entrepreneur. And then it went to all these frames. In other words, they can laugh at themselves and the problems that they're dealing with. But at the end of it, it's like, hey, yo, this is no laughing matter though, for real. Like this is your life on, click here to see if we can get you out of that situation. So that's kind of an idea of, meeting them where they're at and highlighting their problem to catch their awareness or attention. And the better that it feels like organic content where it's watchable and they're actually enjoying it,
The more relatable it
the
is.
more relatable, all of that. And it's more shareable.
That's
right?
good.
So
Back to this example. So let's say someone is at a fitness business. They run the paid ads. And then there's a call to action at the end of the paid ad. They click the button. They go to a landing page. What ideally should be on that landing page and the rest of the flow from there?
click here to receive a free consulting call, right? Or click here and download my free
Fitness guide.
PDF guide, whatever. Or if
And
it's
that's a lead magnet.
yeah, if it's name, phone number, and email. If you have a newsletter, you're going to keep them in your newsletter, kind of stay in front of them, whatever it is. Send text when you have special offers, just things like that. But the idea is you want to dangle a carrot, give them some value. Everybody wants to run an ad and just say, hey, work with me, work with me, work with me. What's the carrot that you can dangle? Like, for instance, if you have like a 30-day guide or something like that, give them that, give them a free consulting call and work with them. Maybe your macro nutrition plan for 30 days or whatever, plus a workout plan, right? And then
Now they get in your ecosystem.
Now they get in your ecosystem. And then if you want to have a little bit longer of a sales process, you can follow up with them 30 days. How was that? Oh, well, I didn't really end up doing anything with it. Well, I do have this program where we hold you accountable. We do weekly calls, or I check in with you. You have to send me screenshots of your food like I had a friend that flat out said, bro, I know myself well enough that I need a trainer. If there's not a trainer at the gym, I'm more likely to just stay in bed. So really that's the factors, knowing yourself well enough and where you fall. So what it is you're utilizing that information against that person, but really to serve that person. I don't want to say against like it's negative, but sometimes we have to protect people from people themselves because they're their own worst enemy, right? And so I would figure out that free consulting call, what their true issues are, give them that free piece of whatever it is that you're offering, that carrot that you're dangling of download this or receive my 30-minute video guide or enter into my course. You record a course once and you can do a 1-hour course on the best practices, the best apps to track your food or whatever, however you could bring them value. And then you can offer them a 50% discount if they sign up now, or a 25% discount. The idea is value, right? And then an offer that has a deadline. And the offer has to be a better offer than what they could receive 6 months from now. Does that make sense?
Yeah. That's good. So we talked about paid ads, organic content. I think one of the best lead magnets, or at least to create awareness, is a webinar or a challenge.
Yeah, I haven't done
whether
those.
you're raising capital
I
for real
agree.
estate.
Yeah.
Like we did a 401k IRA,
Yeah.
webinar about a month ago, and partnered with like a real estate CPA and someone that runs like a self-directed IRA accounting thing, and just provided a lot of value on how you can leverage your 401k IRA to invest in real estate. And then from that, there's a call to action, but then you get a ton of investor leads out of it, right? And so whether you're raising private capital for real estate, or you have an online fitness business, or maybe you do relationship counseling, I feel like the webinar is one of the best lead magnets that you can put out there. Obviously, you're providing a ton of value. And even someone that shows up to your webinar and doesn't move forward, I mean, they're still gaining a ton of value from it, right? They're going to walk away from that webinar feeling like a better version of themselves, and hopefully they gain something from it. And then boom, they're in your ecosystem, they warm up. And then maybe later down the road, they're buying your relationship counseling package or your weight loss program, whatever it might be, right? Whatever you're looking for. But you can apply a webinar to like literally anything in this
Maybe
world.
not landscapers, but
maybe not landscapers.
The home services industry, but like accounting, like we could apply that to accounting.
Totally.
We could apply that to raising
like
capital.
my buddy Carlton Dennis. He's a tax strategist, has an accounting firm.
Yeah.
He does a 5-day challenge once a quarter, and he'll invite all business owners, and he'll show them how to save on taxes. And literally he'll do a 5-day challenge, and then he'll have these folks have a call to action after 5 days. they'll join his tax strategist community, and they'll learn how to save taxes and get in the community. But he'll spend 5 days with them.
Yeah.
And the
Adding
more
value.
dropping a ton of value, right?
Yeah.
And so, it's I think it's a great lead magnet, and I think the more time you spend with folks, the more warmed up they'll be. And this applies for anything in life.
Absolutely.
And you
Absolutely.
mentioned landscaping. I think that you could do a webinar and teach landscapers how to make more money.
Yeah.
Yeah,
if you're going to be a mentor. But if you're 1 year in or 2 years in, if that, I don't think that they're qualified
how to make
be
the grass
teaching.
greener.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get, yeah, well, you could, I guess, if you're in your local area, you could say, hey, this is the best to put on your grass in the spring so that it needs iron or whatever. Utilize this for my code or whatever, something like that.
One of our investors is actually, he's about to close on, he has a big landscaping business in Philly, and he's about to close on like a pretty good sale. That's a business where there's thin margins too, and you got to do a lot of scale.
Yeah, no, thank you. That's managing headaches, dude. Equipment, humans. The idea is to reduce the things that you have to manage, and that's a tough industry, tough margins.
Yep. Trevor, I appreciate you coming on, man. I think that concludes this episode of the Saturday edition. Where can the folks get in touch with you if they want to learn more?
Reach out, Real Business Owners on Instagram. I'd love to connect with you.
Go check out his podcast, Two Real Business Owners. He's Trevor Cowley. I'm Rich. Summers listeners, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.